of Williams coming home in the 4th spot.
4 heats of your stock cars, along with a couple of B mains, I do believe. 4 heats, 2 B mains, 33 cars total in your IMCA stock cars. You know what it is, kids. IMCA stock cars, my favorite class. Grab you a cold one, take you a big drink. Stock cars are up next.
All right, IMCA Sunoco Stock Car Heat Race number 1. This one is brought to you by Tire Demon, by Love Tap. And I'll tell you what, this is going to be a great lineup. We've got the Mr. Acrobat, Jason Batt, in a 9 car on the pole. The 42 machine of William Gould on the outside. Row number 2, the 717 of G.W. Egbert, the 4th. The 14, Ryan Ellis on his outside. Row number 2 on the or 3 on the inside, the 52, Larry Bradley. The 165 of Eric Miles. Row number 4, the 78 of Trevor Egbert. The 07, Eric Lloyd. Eric Lloyd out of Arizona. And the 20T of Thomas Hall in the 5th row, all by himself.
That's Thomas Hall, not Thomas Hall Jr., is that correct?
That's Thomas Hall Sr.
Yeah, that's what we call the slow Thomas Hall. We call the other Thomas Hall, the fast Thomas Hall.
All right, got a live look in coming on IMCA TV. This is the first heat race for the IMCA Sunoco Stock Cars, sponsored by Tire Demon by Love Tap. So this is a live look in on Facebook. We'll give you 2 or 3 sets of these heats here to give you a taste of the action here at Carter, Texas Speedway in Waco, Texas. And then we'd ask you to go, if you're interested, go buy a subscription and watch the rest of the evening on IMCA.tv. All right, the 42 machine of William Gould. That is a car owned by Todd Decker out of Oklahoma City. William Gould been campaigning that car all week long and has done a great job. He is out front now, out in front of the number 9 machine of Batt, Jason Batt. We call him the Acrobat, and then we got G.W. Everett. Another car that's been on the tour all week long, doing good with the 78 right there behind him.
No hustling down the back straightaway now. We got 3 down. We get cross flags next time. It's going to be Willie G. William Gould up on the top side, going to let it rotate. Pull the left front down the front straightaway. Here comes Jason Batt. Jason Batt won last night down at Cotton Bowl Speedway, down at Marianne and H. And now he's up here at Waco tonight, see what he can do at his home track. But it's still going to be William G. That's by about 7/10 of a second over Jason the Acrobat. Working back in the field, a little bit deeper back. The 165 Eric Miles and the 20T, that's going to be for your 6th and 7th position. They're going to hustle it down the back straightaway. It's still going to be Willie G out front. 2 flags in the air, 2 to go this time.
Willie G leads them off into turn number 1, looking for 2 more laps to get this one settled out. Jason Batt, those top 2 cars started to pull away, put some distance on themselves between the 717 of Egbert, who is in the 3rd place. The white flags in the air for Mr. William Gould. Jason Batt in 2nd, Egbert in the 3rd and 4th, and then the 14 of Ellis rounding out your top 5. Top 3 transfer out of this one, so looks like the 717 of Egbert, the man on the bubble. And your winner going to be the 42 of William Gould, Jason Batt in 2nd, G.W. Egbert the 4th in the 3rd spot. Those 3 cars will transfer. Trevor Egbert and company on back through the field will go to a B main. IMCA Sunoco Stock Car Heat Race number 2 brought to you by B&B Chassis, one of our fine sponsors this week for the All-Star Shootout. And on the pole going to be the 416 of Chase Neal. On the outside, the 9H. That is James Hoffman Jr.
Inside row number 2, David Good in a 7G machine. In the outside, Jack Branson from Burleson in a 29J.
Row number 3 on the inside, 88 of Blake Clark, and the 37H of Garrett Higgins.
Inside row number 4, Doug Lorenz from Killeen in the 97. Outside, Alan Essenberg in a 221 from Coppers Cove. Once again, 8 laps is the distance. Get your free look in right now from IMCA TV. And as Neil said earlier, check it out. Something you think you might want to look at, go in and get that subscription. Watch the rest of the night here with Neil Palmer and myself, Joe Spillman. 8 laps of distance. Top 3 will redraw as they work their way slowly down the back straightaway.
If you just happen to stumble on this live look-in on Facebook, what we are looking at is the final night of the 5-day tour for the All-Star Shootout, fueled by IMCA TV. We're going to wrap it up tonight, Joe.
Tonight is where we will crown the champions. Green flag in the air for your heat race number 2 of your IMCA stock cars. going to be the 416. So Chase Neal going to drift up a little bit. That's going to let David Good get underneath him in the 7G. Here comes Blake Clark on the inside. Blake Clark in the 88 machine going to let it rotate, free that car up and get on the bottom side. And it's going to be David Good, followed by Chase Neal, Blake Clark, and then the 229J of Jack Branson. Yellow.
Yeah, we got one stopped here on the front. Hoffman got into Doug Lorenz, but Lorenz was trying to avoid another car, and I think it might have been the 2. I'm not sure. Or might have been the 88, but they all kind of got together coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, definitely
and,
Doug Lorenz has some right front romance damage.
Yeah, he did a wheel hop, a little wheelie hop.
They're not supposed to do wheelie hops in stock cars. We save that for sprint cars and modified. They're going to let him go.
Looks like he is okay. Here's a replay.
Oh, here's a replay.
Yeah, here's a replay.
How cool is this? And I want to call it again. They're going to hustle it down the back straightaway.
Now you see the 88 and the 9.5 got together right there out of 2 down the back stretch. And there you go. That's what the 9 was a little bit loose and kind of went down and blah, blah, blah.
There's a chain reaction.
Here's a slow-mo replay one more time.
That's for old people like me with bad eyesight.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's just a bad, wrong place, wrong time. Sometimes, sometimes you got the luck with you.
We call that a racing deal, don't we?
Sometimes you got the luck against you, yes.
It looks like Lorenz has made it either to the infield or back to the pits. He's not in the line. It looked like he's gone to the pits.
I think he probably went to the pits, that right front damage. Figured he had to run a B anyway. So.
Well, that 7G of David Good Jr., the man with the horse out front, to come out of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. Blake Clark's in second. That 2 machine.
Blake Clark's machine got a lot of drive, got a lot of left rear bite, pulling the left front, makes it a little bit hard to get the car to rotate. He's fighting that machine, but he's able to make it work through 3 and 4. David Good now up in the middle of the racetrack in 1 and 2, gonna let it drift up a little bit, stepped out the rear end a little bit, gonna gather it up and let it get down the back straightaway. But this time it's going to be David Good out front. Here comes Jack Branson on the inside.
All right, Blake Clark able to hold off that hard sharp from that 2 machine as they made their way down the front stretch. Clark running that middle of the groove. Looks like the 2 machine going to get the better bite off the bottom. Got a nose out front of Clark as they go off into turn number 3. Both those cars fighting for second, trying to run down your leader, Good Jr. Clark able to get clear of that 2 machine that time by, and he has got about a 2-car advantage over the 3rd place car. Now those top 3 cars will transfer. David Good Jr., Blake Clark, and the 2 machine. We think that might be Jack Branson.
I believe that's a 229J. That's the only car with a 2 on the lineup other than Alan Essenberg, and he's quite a ways back. So it's got to be Jack Branson in the 2. All of these cars are hooked up and 3-wheeling through the middle of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, except David Good. David Good has all 4 on the ground, but the rest of them are 3-wheeling, a lot of left rear bite, a lot of right rear soft spring, and that's going to let him just kind of rotate, but man, it makes him hard to drive. It's just pretty erratic at that point, but it's working for him. You and I are up here in the grandstands, and they're out there racing, so who are we to criticize how the other cars set up? Got a 4 about halfway around, going to gather it up. Checkered flag this time, I do believe.
It is
David Good.
Yeah.
Jack Branson, 88 Blake Clark. And then the 416 Chase Neal around out the top 4.
So it's going to be David Good Jr. and Jack Branson, we think, in that 2 car, and then the 88 of Clark transferring right straight into the A main. The rest of these guys are going to have to get in through a beat.
Fun fact, I gave Blake Clark his very first checkered flag ever at 281
really?
Speedway.
He's
Just
had
a
lot
young
since
kid.
Then,
He's had plenty since then, I tell you what. He raced number 3, brought to you by?
It is none other than Smiley's Racing Products, fine sponsor for the IMCA Sunoco Stock Car Heat Race number 3. And I'm going to make a prediction. I'm just going to step out there and make a prediction on
Don't
this.
Don't get wild. Don't get wild and say the 82, whatever you do.
I'm going to say the 82 might win this one. Bosco Garrett and the 1G out of Dublin, Texas on the pole there, with the 82 of Shelby Williams out of Bottom, Texas on the outside.
Inside row number 2, the 489, Anthony Otkin, and the outside of 444, Demetrius Carter.
Row number 3 on the inside, the 911 car, that's Billy Vest, and the 22M, Gregory Muirhead.
Inside row number 4, the 355, Jeremy Doyle, and the outside, the C3, Chris Birmingham. I tell you what, C3 has been pretty fast over at Cotton Bowl. I work over there some, and C3's been pretty swift over there, but he's got a long way to go, and there's a lot of fast cars in front of him. Demetrius Carter, Muirhead, Anthony Otkin, Billy Vest. 911 emergency, call Billy Vest.
All right, looking for the starters to come out of turn number 4. Green flags in the air. We got this one underway.
Shelby Williams going to hustle it down into 1 and 2, now driving down the back straightaway. That car is very smooth compared to the ones that we were watching earlier. They were all, well, I lied a little bit. He's going to pull the left front now. He's got a lot of momentum. He's going to hustle it down now into 1 and 2. Going to work it through the middle of 1 and 2. Here comes Demetrius Carter into 444. But Shelby Williams in the 82 going to set sail down the front straightaway. We'll have 2 down this time, 6 to go. But we got a pile of them behind them, all fighting for that. Bosco Garrett, the 489, Anthony Ogden. Here comes Birmingham on the inside. Birmingham from dead last now up in that third transfer spot. Going to fight with Bosco. Bosco Garrett now going to be up on the top side. Birmingham can't let it drift up in there too high. Going to get him up in the wall if we do, buddy. Got to keep it down on the bottom of the racetrack. Does the C3 at Birmingham. Now Birmingham. Birmingham now gets enough momentum and clears Bosco, and that's going to let Birmingham get in that transfer spot into C3.
That was a tough battle for that third and final transfer spot between the 1G of Bosco Garrett and the C3. Here comes the 22 of Muirhead, another car that's ran really strong this week. He is going to go up there and challenge Birmingham for that third and final transfer spot. It's Muirhead on the inside, Birmingham on the outside, and they are door-to-door in a battle for that third and final transfer spot across the line. Out front, the Kid Rocket getting it done. Demetrius Carter putting on a good show there in that 444.
Muirhead now going to clear C3. C3 gets in a little hard. Muirhead kind of parked it a little bit to get it through the corner in the slick, and C3 just kind of used him as the brakes there.
Look up under his skirt a little bit.
A little peek under the skirt.
Yeah.
White flag is out for Kid Rocket. Shelby Williams been on fire all week long and continues his streak. Down the back straightaway he does. Demetrius Carter, we just about jinxed him. We gave him the old announcer's jinx. We talked good about him, and look what happened. He just about loops it. But your heat race number 3 winner is going to be Shelby Williams, followed by Demetrius Carter, Muirhead, C3 of Birmingham. There's a 911. Billy Vest.
Billy Vest.
I could see his face. I couldn't think of his name. We were talking about that earlier. It's like
we did, didn't we?
Getting old sucks, Neil. That's all there is to it. Just getting old sucks.
Yeah, so Kid Rocket is going to transfer to the A main right along with Demetrius Carter and Gregory Muirhead. And that C3 is at Birmingham, the first one on the outside looking in?
Yep, one out looking in. Heat race number 4 out on the track. Who's that brought to us by, Neil?
This one is brought to us by Summit Racing Products.
Summit Racing, heat race number 4 out on the racetrack. Jeremy Bradley from Gardendale, Texas on the pole in the 25. Outside, Thomas Hall. That's the kiddo, the fast haul. Waco in the 114.
Row number 2 on the inside, Boone Evans, been with us all week long, campaigning 2 different cars, the stock car and the Southern Sport Mod. He is on the inside of second row. 17 of Jerry Frederick on the outside.
Inside row number 3, Mr. Stephenville starter himself, Dennis Bissonette in the 07D. And the outside, Sean Graham in the Triple X. Rounding out the field, we Cody Smith in the 18S and Chris Florio in the 211.
Top 3 will transfer out of this 8-lap stock car heat race.
Keep an eye on Cody Smith. That is a bad dude. 4 wins in 4 days in 2 different classes. See what he can do there.
4 different tracks.
4 different tracks. A bad dude right there, my friends.
Oh, man.
Little bump and grind getting through with John Friedrich in the 17F. But the fast kid himself, Thomas Hall, out front in the 114.
The fast haul?
That's the fast haul. I hope his dad doesn't beat me up. He's bigger than I am. Jeremy Bradley in the 25 in the 2nd position. And then the 4JR Boone Evans in that 3rd position. But here comes Sean Graham. And here comes Cody Smith behind him.
Cody Smith's been sneaking his way up through the field. They're up to battle with the Triple X machine of Sean Graham for that 4th spot. Looks like Sean Graham going to hold him off that time. Boone Evans taking a look to the inside of Bradley as they roll off into turn number 3. Meanwhile, out front, the fast haul checking out.
Hall checking out, but we got a 4-car battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th Here comes Cody Smith, going to rotate underneath them, going to pick off 2 of them. Going to pick off 2 of them, 3 wide down the front straightaway. That's for 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Wow.
Cody Smith going to come out smelling like a rose right there, up through the middle, and now he sets a sail on the 4, trying to see what he can do with Boone Evans. See if he can close it, but Sean Graham not giving up yet.
I'll tell you what, Cody Smith was the meat in that sandwich, and they spit him out to the 3rd and final transfer spot. And he goes to work on the 4JR machine of Boone Evans. Sean Graham still battling with the 25 right back there for that 4th spot.
Going to rotate it, drive it down underneath Boone Evans. Man, if your name is Boone, you got to be fast, right?
Got to be fast.
It's like you have, if your name is Boone, you got to be fast. Here comes Cody Smith, going to work underneath Boone, down the back straightaway. Now going to have the lead by about a half a car length. Going to let it rotate, drift up in front of Boone Evans. Boone Evans going to give a little shot in the shorts. Says, hey, that wasn't quite a clean slider, but I'm pretty sure Cody Smith was going to the front.
Oh, man.
White flag is out this time for Thomas Hall Jr., followed by the 18. Cody Smith, and in Boone Evans is your top 3. Checkered flag, checkered flag. What a race. Good job for that kiddo. You know, he's 16. The 114, he's 16 years old. So
16 years old.
16 years old. So.
All right, that's going to do it for the live look in on IMCA.TV Facebook. So if you want to watch the rest of the hot action here,
if you want to hear me and Neil talk on each other, y'all just sign on up, kids.
Absolutely. Well,
so how do they do that? They go to IMCA TV.
Go to IMCA.TV and purchase a subscription. They can watch all the racing action here tonight, and it's going to be hot and heavy and really a lot of fun. What do we got coming up next? Junior Limited.
These are the kiddos, all the way from 12 to 16, I do believe.